What's up, you Jeep lovers? This is Pete with Krietz Customs, coming to you today to explain to you on an expert level of why you should buy a used Jeep instead of a brand new one. This is a 2024 Jeep, and we're gonna explain to you some real good tips, especially a piece on major depreciation about Jeeps and why you should buy a used one. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, so there are now 8 different trim levels for Jeeps, starting off at 32.5, ranging all the way up to your 99 to around 100 range for the 392 Rubicon limited edition, final edition. We don't know whether or not it's actually the final edition, apparently. So there is that aspect, but it does range all the way up to that higher price range. I wanted to go over with you guys a lot of quick tips on how your Jeep buying experience can limit the depreciation. Everybody on earth knows that Jeeps do depreciate a solid amount unless you really do it right. And funny enough, over time, actually Jeeps they will resell. They'll have a dip, a real hefty dip, and then once you hit that like 10 to 20 year mark, especially the real old ones, they're selling, you know, decently. But I want to go over with you guys some expert tips on how you can save that from happening, or at least dampen that fall for you. So Jeep came out with a different type of roof style. Mopar came out with a sky roof. So the sky roof, we'll show you kind of what it looks like right here. Boom. The sky roof's a really cool aspect of kind of switching the doors off aspect to you not having to do it by yourself anymore. And now it's a convertible, right? That's basically what it is you got a Jeep that's convertible. Even though you were able to always take the doors and roof off, now with the push of a button, you can slide that roof all the way back, basically giving you the same coverage of what you had with the entire roof off. But now it's just by the push of a button, which actually I could see how that's kind of getting rid of the culture of having to take it off. Maybe some people will still like to go in there and undo the latches and take the roof off, but this is a really cool touch. That right there costs right about $39.95, $4 grand to install and add to that MSRP, which in the long run will pay off by you having this. We've seen the ones that have it do resell for a much better value, and it's a much more desirable thing. So adding that will definitely save you in the depreciation aspect, and at least doing a hard top that's color matched will also save you. Nobody really likes like some people do, but that matte plastic look when your Jeep is already white. Why not just color match it? It's not too much more expensive. And then also color matching the door handles or doing different aspects of color matching the vehicle will also add to that dampen of the fall in the depreciation of your price. Now, we come around here, in aspects of the engine types you can really get with Jeep all the way up until that 392. You really only have the 3.6 or the hybrid engine that Jeep came out with. The 3.6 is much more desirable. It's $2,200 more. It'll not only save you in the long run, well, potentially, for a ton of issues, but it is definitely more desirable in an aspect of people wanting them instead of the hybrids, the 4XEs. Just because the 4XE is a much less tested engine, it did have a lot of problems with it. Not saying that those problems won't go away, but for right now, the 3.6 is much more reliable and much more desirable at the moment in time for taking the hit on that depreciation. 3.6 is $2,200 more. I would say do it, and I'm also just not a fan of that 4XE engine myself. All right, now onto the inside. There are definitely a lot of features from the inside that we can see that will definitely help you retain more value in the long run of what this Jeep will be worth and dampen that fall of that beginning year. We've got the leather. Leather is definitely one thing, honestly, in any vehicle, but Jeeps especially, that is going to save you in the long run on depreciation. And it's also just a sleeker look. It's more comfortable driving around in. I'm not one that cares too much for the amount of cabin space that I have in a Jeep, but it definitely helps having leather in here instead of cloth. Just gives it a better look and is more luxurious. You think about driving with the top off, I would much rather I have cloth seats in my truck, and I have gotten it rained on. And I will say the leather smells a lot better when rained on because it doesn't soak it in, especially this. You don't really have a lot of spots where that water really can soak in. It's super easy to clean up, and it's just a sleeker look. It's not too much more expensive. It comes out to $19.95 more than what the cloth seats would be. in the long run, the upgrade is absolutely worth it in my opinion. I'm a big fan of leather. $19.95, it's worth the upgrade to not have a crappy smelling car after it gets rained on if you keep the top off and a storm comes out of nowhere. I know a lot of people in Florida, I used to live there. Storms come out of nowhere, dude, and they last 10 minutes and it rains hard as heck. It could happen. Just by the way, with that engine, I did get that wrong. It's not $2,200 upgrade. That was a different upgrade that I was thinking of that we'll go over in a second. The engine's only a $2,000 upgrade, so $200 less than what I had said. I definitely have seen that the 3.6 is more and more desirable than the 4xe. So the next feature I was going to talk to you guys about, which is $22.95, is going to be your upgraded tech package. So you get this bigger display screen, definitely a big time upgrade in Jeeps from what they used to have. It's a very responsive screen. You also get an off-road camera as well as Apple CarPlay. So you can use Apple CarPlay in here. Without that package, you don't get to use it, which is inconvenient as all get out. You also get the option of adding the Dukes of Hazzard horn into the vehicle if you know about it. So you can add that in. If I go ahead and honk this horn, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, that was me. No, you definitely get some cool tech upgrades. That is only $22.95. Will definitely help the depreciation out. This is the first year Jeep has had a large screen like this. Was 2024. Now to step out of the vehicle, I want to go over some really nice to-know facts with you guys on just what type of depreciation that you are looking to dampen, because I've been saying that first year is something crazy. I want to give you guys some numbers so that you can actually see what you're looking at with that first year and why it is so worth it to get stuff like this. If you have not seen it yet, this is your sky top. So like I said, it really is like a convertible. It's not just like a basic sunroof where, you know, you have this half that opens up. No, you literally have space all throughout here where my hand goes. Just like a regular Jeep, it doesn't turn off any of that. Now, if I just go ahead and press this entire roof, oh, it stops for me. Look at that. It's gonna open up. It is not just the aspect of the front or even going into the back. No, it's the entire thing, which is pretty cool. I mean, taking the entire thing off from, you know, what you would do with the latches, maybe get you an inch or two on the sides, maybe an inch or two in the rear. That's extra off. That's about it. And so this really is just like taking the roof off. Yeah, so that's the sky roof for you. Definitely a worth it upgrade in my head, not only just for the depreciation aspect, it's useful. I click a button now. Look at that. I'm not one for being like comfortable all the time. I think that you should definitely learn to be uncomfortable in a lot of your life, so that, you know, you can get used to stuff, but this is definitely very convenient. Now let's go over those numbers that I was talking to you guys about beforehand, about actually what the depreciation is in the first year. All right, so why the heck do you care about somebody random telling you numbers on what you should and should not buy in a Jeep or look for when you're buying a used one? Based off of CarEdge.com, which is a company that does a whole ton of research as to depreciation and appreciation of vehicles, Jeeps, brand new, have lost 43%. That's what their depreciation rate is, 43% of what the original MSRP was. So say the Jeep was worth 70 grand. You're looking at $51,000 a year later of lost money as to what that Jeep is going to be worth if you sell it. That's why I'm going over all these features that could save you guys. That is a massive amount of money, nearly half the vehicle's worth, right? The analogy that you lose 10% once you drive off the lot is not true for Jeeps. It's more like 25, 30, and then it keeps on going. That's a good reason to buy used. When you do buy used, somebody else absorbed that hit for you. And you are now able to honestly do a ton to your vehicle because you just basically bought a new truck for half of its cost. Something like what we did is, if I go on Jeep right now, and I did pull this up beforehand because I wanted to check all this. I got a 2025 Jeep Wrangler, $53,000, does not have the sky top. It does have leather, it does have the tech package, no sky top, and it's a 3.6. That's 53 grand. What we're selling this bad boy for is also 53 grand. It's a 2024, does have the sky top, does have the tech package, does have leather. It's also got a color matched sky top, and so the outsides are gonna be color matched. It also has about $8,500 worth of work done to it. These wheels, tires, lifts did not come from Jeep. We did all that and we're selling it at $53,000. It's only a 2024. Something like this is worth more than a Rubicon now, because it's like you got all the packages that you can think of, plus $8.5 thousand worth of work done to a vehicle, and it's still below MSRP from what it was the year before. And so with that being said, on this, we have 22x12 fuel fluxes wrapped around a 35 1250 22 Fury Country Hunter RT tire, as well as a 2.5-inch rough country lift kit. That alone is a $75,000 to $8.5 thousand package. Now you go ahead and throw that Sky Top, the 3.6 engine, the leather, and the tech package, and you're looking at another, oh math, please work, probably another $8 grand, to be honest with you. And this guy's going for way below what it was MSRP. It already took the hit of the first year. And so now you go to resell this. And by the way, Jeep is one of the companies that will buy stuff back that has lift wheels and tires on it. Absolutely more than what you typically. Reselling it back to a dealership or trading it in, because people upgrade their Jeeps. Jeep loves an upgraded Jeep and loves selling it on their lot. You were to buy this, have it for 3 to 5 years, bring it into a Jeep, you kept it clean, they're gonna give you a decent lot of money because it's different than what they usually saw. This work is all done for you, 53 to where you were originally buying a 2025 for 53. And it doesn't really make sense, but it works for you. By the way, that $53,000 one from the dealership, the 2025 was already discounted $10,000. And so it originally was 63, which is absurd. That is the reason I wanted to go over all these tips with you guys, because it really is a true statement of how much the depreciation on Jeeps hits you and how much you can save yourself now and in the future by buying one used and then reselling it used. If you wait 20 years, guys, Jeeps do sell well. 20-year Jeeps are vintage. Like if you keep them clean and everything like that, it's kind of crazy the market for them. But that being said, that's why we wanted to go over this, is because the depreciation value is an insane thing, and you got to know it before buying a new Jeep. Don't do it. Come over to Krietz Customs and buy yourself an already built used one and save yourself a ton of money, and also gain yourself a ton of money in that resale. If you have any questions about this or want to go ahead and pick yourself up one or build one, go ahead and give us a call here at 301-694-4642. Visit KrietzCustoms.com. If you're out of state, out there in Nevada, and you want to build this, we do have a parts store, Krietz Customs Parts Store. We will go ahead and ship those parts out to you, and you can have somebody build it there. Or if you want to drive all the way and just come out and see us, we would love to have you here. My name is Pete, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. Subscribe to Krietz Customs to win a free set of wheels and tires. If we hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, we'll be giving away a set just like this, a 35 1250 22 Fury Country Hunter on a 22x12 fuel wheel. If you want those, go ahead and subscribe to Krietz Customs, and we will see you when we give you those wheels away.